Well, aprons are on and I'm ready to get my hands dirty with local artist Lindsay. Lindsay, thank you so much for having us in your studio. It is beautiful. You have so much beautiful, colorful work all around us.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about your work.
Sure. So my work is inspired by Victorian fretwork and stone tracery. I'm obviously interested in color and pattern and how those all come together, but also function, and so integrating those two components together is really important to me. And I do hope that in making the work that I'm bringing people to the table so that there is an intimacy and a conversation that then exists around the work as well. When I am out in the world and I see, like for example, a Victorian home that has all the gingerbread fretwork on it, so oftentimes I'll photograph that and then I'll take that back to my computer and I'll create tools based on those fretwork patterns. And so that's where these tool components have come into play. So these are all based on those designs.
Wow. So you're not really replicating what they may have had in the Victorian era, but kind of your own twist to it?
Right. I do definitely admire the Victorian era, their interest in food specificity. So I do research that a bit, but those are sort of end up being two separate things.
Can we say you're definitely a Bridgerton, Downton Abbey fan?
Of course, yeah, of course. I love all that.
Well, let's get started. I'm super excited. What exactly do we have in front of us? Or I guess, what's step one?
Yeah, so step one today was that I rolled out a piece of porcelain clay into a slab, and I used my slab roller that actually was funded by the Arts Commission Accelerator Grant.
Thank you so much, Arts Commission.
Yeah, thank you, Arts Commission, for that. And so I rolled out this slab, and then the next step would be that we're gonna rib with these rib tools back and forth just to compress the clay.
Okay.
And so it's just this process of kind of letting the tool like bend around your fingers. Okay. Yep, so you kind of lobster claw and then just pull down, and then you can go to the side.
How did you get involved in this?
I started in high school. I was really lucky that I found clay in high school, and that really, directed my path going forward. So I went to the New York State College of Ceramics in Alfred, New York, and studied there, and then went on to graduate school.
And you must love it a lot because now you are a professor, so the tables have turned.
Sure.
What do you teach at Owens?
So I teach the Intro to Ceramics and 3D design, and then I run their community ceramic programming as well.
Wow, so that must be really fun to like the next generation of young artists.
Sure. Yeah, it's hard in a way because I only get to be with them for usually one term, and the community aspect is what I've really come to enjoy a lot more because I'm able to build relationships with those students that have lasted, hopefully will last a lifetime. Okay, so we have this slab. We're gonna focus on just these like nice little like candy treasure dishes. So these are molds that I've purchased. You're gonna set it down and then you just wanna cut, so I'll just cut like a little extra out. That way I can drape the clay over top of it. Yep.
What makes Toledo such a great place for local artists?
Sure. We picked Toledo just because it was between our families. We sort of like found a dot on the map that was going to work for us and made this our home. But I've been so amazed by the way the community's embraced me, from the Toledo Museum of Art to the Arts Commission. It's been a wonderful way to sort of join this community as a transplant and feel really welcomed.
What's your favorite part?
Oh, I love throwing on the potter's wheel. That got me hooked right from the beginning. I was so lucky in high school. I had a really good group of students in my class with me, and it wasn't easy and I wasn't good at first. But I've found that athletes really often do well in my classes because they understand the repetitive nature of the material and that it takes time. And
so sports and arts really are not that different.
Not always that different, yeah. So once you feel like this has really taken on the shape, you can take that needle tool, and I'm just gonna come like up until I feel the mold, and then I'll just pull all the way around. And I'm trying to hold the tool flat against the base of the mold, like that.
Perfect. All right. No promises I can make it that nice. It's probably good that you're already a teacher, so you have so much patience already.
Yes, most of my job often is fixing, especially with my community students.
Do you teach elsewhere other than Owens, or is Owens kind of your
Yep, currently
home
I'm
zone?
just teaching at Owens. I did teach at BGSU for a term, and that was wonderful. Yeah. So I just kind of took my hands around just to see that, you know, I cut it how I wanted to, and then anywhere that you have any burrs or flares, you can kind of pat that down with your fingers.
So do you sell your work online? Do you like going to art fairs and festivals? What's your favorite?
Sure. So I sell my work through the Toledo Museum of Art online and in their store. And then I will sometimes have like a pop-up sale on my website. But post-motherhood, that's been a little more challenging to get all those pieces together. So I'm actually happy to let the museum take care of that component for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then to finish your question, I also, I'll ship work out to other galleries and art centers, clay art centers especially. And so that's nice to have work, you know, everywhere. And then oftentimes I'll apply for shows too nationally. So let's think about pattern and texture at this point.
Alrighty.
And so I'm just gonna kind of imagine where my line goes across the space.
It's already so pretty.
And then you can come in with the opposite, right? Because these tools come from each other, right? So you have the negative and the positive. So you come in with the opposite side and kind of complete that pattern. Like that.
I feel like these are calling me, these two
Yeah.
pieces. So start with the negative, then go in with the positive, kind of?
So,
Okay.
yeah.
So like the pressure of it, are you looking for something like kind of like in there, or just like a soft?
Yeah, I think it's up to you how much you want it to raise up. Yep,
Make it
there
a
you
little
go.
dramatic.
There you go. So it's nice to start off on a form because you have something supporting from the back. When I do this type of work on the wheel throne, I have to utilize my hands on the interior. And so for a new stamper, it can be a little more challenging. So this is a nice starting point. Okay, so this is another fun thing. These are called sprigs. So these are mold, it's a bisqued mold that I made from buttons and things that I found. And I remember one of my professors said, you're only as unique as the obscurity of your source. And so I laugh because it's like some of these things maybe people will have seen before, and some of them, you know, they won't have.
It's so true.
So, right? Isn't that funny? So I'm gonna take just the smallest amount of clay and push it into the mold. And so then that can go right on the piece. And place that on, like that. So you see that start to happen like here on this teapot, you know, where those components start to come together, like that.
Oh my gosh. So it's basically, it just becomes one piece. I don't know, but in my mind, I thought it was like the base of it, then you put the nozzle and then the top. So it's really all one piece. That is incredible.
Yeah. And then you can pull your form out and just see what you got. Yeah, nice.
Okay, we're not bad.
No, it's not bad at all. So now I would just come around and you're just gonna pinch like between your thumb and your index finger.
Kind of like a pie crust?
Yeah, just like that. It's a lot of finesse. I love working with this red slip. I think it's such a nice pop of color. So you can try a little bit of that if you want.
Just polka dotted on the sides?
Yeah,
All right, I'll kind of...
and you could do it on the tip or you could even do it down here, could be nice.
Whew, this concentration, oh my gosh.
And the pressure too, right? It's
Very foreign to me, yeah.
I do utilize a lot of line work, and so I love this little X-Acto blade to just add, you know, another element of texture. And so I'll just come with a really soft line. So yeah, the next step is for sure drying.
Wow, this was so much fun, Lindsay. Thank you so much. Hopefully I did do it a little bit of justice with those designs right there. This was so fun, and I can really tell that your passion just radiates from what you do. And thank you for being so patient. I appreciate it.